Hello and welcome to Stone Valley. I'm Miss Box. I'm a great fan of simulator games, starting in Flight Simulator, been through Train Simulator, but that didn't really grab me, and I wasn't sure that I'd really like Farm Simulator, but yes I do. And finally I decided to do my own playthrough on a serious map, Stone Valley in fact. The original Stone Valley, that is, not the X2 version. That's significantly smaller. This map is just huge. Let's take a little look at this. Now these are huge fields, and I mean huge. So we are going to farm this. We're starting in new farmer mode, and we'll get to the equipment that we've got here in a moment, because that's all going to change. I'm going to move things around. Starting in new farmer mode, everything is sort of set fairly simple. When we look at our settings here, we can see at the moment I'm sitting in real time. The economic difficulty is normal. The traffic is on. That might well change. And so on. I'm going to do everything myself with the filling and so on. And so they're all set off. Crops instruction is on, so we've got to be careful, and so on. And that sort of thing. I'm making things a bit easy for myself. The idea here is that you perhaps want to... I'm not going for trying to be realistic farmer here. In this game, no. Far from it. I'm going to be just playing the game as any solo player would want to. But because this map is so huge, and I mean huge, we're going to have to make use of lots of the facilities that are available in the game. And these facilities are, let's hop on board tractor, and they will be CoursePlay. So we will have CoursePlay. You can see now on the screen we've got the CoursePlay box here in the center. We will be making extensive use of CoursePlay and AutoDrive to make life a lot easier for ourselves. So we'll be using CoursePlay for field work and AutoDrive for things like delivering from the silo to the sell points and so on. We've started off on the map as we started off in new farmer mode. We own one field, and that is number 20. And we're playing with seasons enabled, so that means that the fields are harvested. We are going to have to plough our fields. Again, this is a big job. I'm serious about this. But with seasons active means we've got a bit of a while till harvest, so we're going to deal with some equipment while we're at it. So let's have a little look in the sheds at what we've got. We can see we've got a combine harvester header here. Green John Deere, of course. Let's open the doors up here, and yes, we've got to approach it again. Come on, open sesame. Doesn't want to open. Hold on. There we go. We've got a pair of S790s in here, which are good money, and they're fitted at the moment with corn headers. Because if you play the game on its own, oh, this door's shut now. Come on, open. I want you open. I'm going to lock myself in here in a minute, aren't I? I tend to leave the doors wide open, I have to say. Yeah, so if you play the game without seasons, you start off with field 20 ready to harvest with a corn crop. So you have two harvesters with two corn headers. We will not need those. What we will need, and we've got round the corner, is a culti-plough. Now this is a rather nice piece of kit because it ploughs in a straight line across the across the back of the tractor rather than offset ploughing. So this makes life an awful lot easier. And it ploughs an 8-metre furrow. Does need a fairly lumpy tractor though, and that's where the case comes in. So I think what we'll do before we go into the rest of the equipment is we'll get the case running on the job, and start ourselves off. So into the case we go. Start up, and I do tend to drive mostly in third person. We'll take CoursePlay off for the moment. I don't need it on. Whilst we're doing the selling on the field, the worker in CoursePlay mode will be dealing with field 20. Right, so let's link up. So you know, I use a Cytec heavy machinery wheel and side deck combo, which I find is fabulous for this game. Well, it's designed for the game. Now, one of the things, having played a bit, I've played this sort of through already. The shape of this field leaves something to desire. There's this bit of field here which is quite unworkable. So the first thing I'm going to do is to get rid of it. So, and we do that by going into landscaping mode. Let's bring up our menu here. So we're going to change over from the mode of changing the levels and so on. We're going to change over to just painting, because that will alter the field for us. We're going to change over from just dirt to the grass or meadow style, which is number 6. We're going to change our brush style as well to a flat plate, and then we're going to go over here and we're going to start to change the field. There we are. We'll just bring this across here and we'll isolate that section like that, and we will just trim. Oh, stop that. Come on, Simone. Oh, that's me trying to do this with the mouse held down all the time. I've got to move it because things aren't square. Right, and it isn't square here, and it just makes life a little bit easier if the field is squared off. Okay, we will plough this now. So we pretty well altered the shape of our field. We'll now get that squared away. We've left this behind. We'll just change this over. Yes, it costs a little bit of money, but it does make life an awful lot easier if the field is square. I have to tell you that. Experience has shown. Right, so we come out of that. Let's get in the Culti-Plough. Open it out. And we will do is attempt to plough this square. Easier said than done. But what we can do for the moment, just to get everything trimmed back, is let's go CoursePlay up. And if I say to plough this field, I go into the plough mode, fieldwork mode, generate a course for field 20 with one headland round. We'll do a turn on the course. We'll take the headland off to 0, and then that will do. We will do it from the current position. Generate a field course. Come back. Right, now you can see if I now go into this mode and put on the waypoints, you can see where our waypoints are. And this is the existing and original field shape. So we will now plough this field shape just to make it nice and neat. And the easiest way to do that is just to bring the plough around to here. Bring the tractor around to here. Get it online, roughly speaking, and say to it, drive at the nearest waypoint. But before we do, we have to tell it to be able to create fields. So we push Y to enable it to do that and tell it to drive the course. And turn that off. And what we will see is that it is cultivating and ploughing at once. It will just twiddle around the corner here, make it nice and neat for us. That'll leave a little bit I've got to just do there. And then it will just neaten this edge that I created. And set me in a nice direction. Let's bring the map up. You can see our direction there is now 0 degrees, which is lovely. Thereabouts. And just before we get to the end, we will take over control of the tractor. Stop the driver. Back him up a tiny bit. Close that off. Pop the tool back down again, and we'll just drive straight across to the edge. and therefore we create our nice even field here. Now let's just watch here so that we can see where the plough ends up in the field, because by just painting meadow on as we've done, we've converted this from field as it was before into non-field. A bit like using the meadow roller, right? So we've gone up to that corner. Go on a bit more, yes we did. Lift the plough and say Y to make sure it's limited to field. We will now get rid of that course that I did. Now to set up this new field, very simple. We drive onto the field. We tell CoursePlay to calculate the field, so now it's taken care of the new shape that we've got. It's lost that lump here, and we can say to the thing, we can park this in field number 20 and overwrite the settings that were there. So overwrite the path. Job's done. And now we can get into to doing this. Now bear in mind this is a single tractor, single tool. And let's see how we go. Course generation. Field number 20. We'll start on the northeast up here. We usually do this. Set the northeast or what have you. Go round. We're going to start work on the up-down rows. This is the classic way of doing it. You don't want to go over your headlands because you over compression of the soil and all that sort of thing. So you should do it that way. Some sort of sop to reality. We're going to need to turn on the field, so we want to have 3 or 4 headland passes just to make life easy. And then we're going to do turn, no headland overlap, doing it the classic way, and we tell it to generate the course. Now as we go through these things, I'm intending to purchase field 36, which comes with field 18. Now this lot's over 4 million. That's a lot of money to get together. So I'll show you how we'll do that as well. Looking at our course, here we are 4 times round. That's where we're going to start. That's where we're going to stop, because starting location is for the headlands. So if you're combining, that's where you're going to start. Or if you're going to work the headlands first. But in this case we're working the up-down rows, so we start over there to end up there. If that's not where you want to end up, change the starting location. It'll shift everything around in the field. So there's a fairly long drive, but I'm happy with that. We'll turn off the display of the waypoints, which we can do to here. I tend to make my tractors reverse a little bit quicker, so that as their turning speed is their reversing speed. We go, and we're going to start course at the first waypoint, like that. Turn that off, and off we go. We'll head over to the far corner. Should really fold the plough up again, because CoursePlay will handle all this. Now this is, at the moment, this is all quite simple. But once we get to multiple machines, this is when CoursePlay is really going to become a winner for us and make life so much easier. Believe me, it's going to make it easier. Such fields, those big fields like number 36, I was talking about, the ones I want to acquire, they can take a single unit like this, something like 7 or 8 hours of real game time to drive and to work the field. So you really do want to have multiple equipment on the field. We'll start here. Now the start point from CoursePlay is around here somewhere. Have I got it? Have I told it to turn off? Yes, I have. So there's our start point. What a good guess. Come in, drive course at the first waypoint. Now we'll go, and off we go. Nicely unfolded, and off goes. Yeah. Oh yes, that's the thing we didn't check. Was how long is this going to take? Just this field with the tractor on its own, 3 hours 34 minutes real time. Plus we've got to turn around an extra, so I'm expecting this to be about 3 and 3/4 hours just to prepare this one field. Because of the nature of the game, as you can see, the time at the top of the screen here, I've set this now to 1 times, to real time. You're going to need real time for farming on this particular map, but it's quite possible to do. There's plenty of work. Let's leave the worker to do his thing and hop over to here. Let's hop out. Now let's go and deal with all our equipment that we no longer need. Now, one of the things that I don't particularly like about this map is, let's open that door, is the workshop. The workshop here, I mean, it's exactly what you need in a farm, but the door's very low. You can't use this workshop for any form of equipment. Tractors will go in, and you can get smaller trailers in, but it's a bit low. So we will be replacing quite a bit of the equipment on this farm. And indeed, what I've done through when I was learning the map, if you like, and deciding what to do, was I looked at this field number 20, and it's a decent size, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to chop this right off here and go across to there, and then that will leave a nice swathe of land here in which I can create a brand new, really swish up-to-date yard with a nice machine shop and plenty of equipment storage, because there's going to be plenty of equipment here on this farm. What else have we got in terms of vehicles? We've got the sprayer over there, and we've got our corn trailer or a grain trailer. In here we have nothing at all. So we will start selling our equipment, and because we're running seasons, our equipment can be sold if we've not used it, as it were. Not quite one there. We go into our garage, and we can see what we've got. Now, of course, we do have the road runner. That's up the road. It's stored in a different place, but that's ours. It's stored in the stored near the lime facility, actually. We're not going to. This is okay as a piece of kit. As you can see, it runs both solid fertilizer and liquid. It will do herbicides as well. It has a spray reach of 27 meters. But we're going to sell that and get our 195 grand in. Yep, indeed. Thank you. Goodbye. We're going to sell all our harvesting equipment too. Oh yeah. And you'll see why, because before the harvest comes in, our first harvesting, we will have new combines. So we'll sell our harvesters off, and our combines here. That's like that. Now we've got 1.2 million. Getting a bit of money. We'll keep the pickup, always useful to have a pickup. We'll keep the grain cart. This cultivator, we'll sell that. And remember, big is what we're aiming for, so we don't want that as well. We'll get rid of the Pronto. Probably need the weight somewhere. We've got a dog. We'll have to go and feed the dog in a bit. Interestingly, on this map, this large silo extension you can't sell. It's in a different location. It's not actually on this farm. The large grain silo is. Not in the best of positions, but certainly not for CoursePlay use. And then we got the water station. So that's really got rid of the equipment I want to keep is the tractor trailer unit, or the semi. Although the trailer itself I don't particularly like, because it's a twin hopper job, and yes, it's got a huge capacity of 230,000. You can split load it, but it's meh from my point of view. So I usually sell that, and then let's go shopping. Oh, lovely! I like shopping. So for trailers, for the semi, we put on the cramp. That's 59,000 litres. It carries absolutely everything that can be done in the game. So we will buy that, and we'll buy it in total standard form. We could go with wide tyres, but we only scrub them out, or we could have Michelins. It's going to be doing mostly road work, so I would think Michelin will be the right tyres to have on it, don't you? You can have the wide Michelins, but we'll stick with the standard Michelins, and we'll buy that. Okay, so that's our first piece of equipment. That deals with work between the silo and the distribution and selling. We're going to need to have a decent trailer for harvest time, and one thing I've learnt on harvesting, so for trotting backwards and forwards, is that a turntable trailer, i.e. the one that you use on a semi, is very much desired. So we've got the semi with that. Will we use that for or for selling? Because the main grain hopper has only the main grain hopper itself on the farm has a 200,000 litre capacity. And when we harvest the field behind us, we are going to, that's only a fraction of what's going to come off that field. So we will need to have something more than that for ourselves. So I would have another trailer. But so turntable trailers are really useful. But a smaller size one, so for trotting backwards and forwards. The little cramp is a really nice turntable trailer. And I found that that's really good too. So we will buy one of those. And that's in the trailer board form because it's going to find itself out on fields. So buy that, and of course for that we will need a dolly. So we'll buy a dolly for it. There we go, a nice dolly. Now, what have we got? We've got field working equipment. We've got one tractor out with with things, but we're going to be doing a lot of contracting to get more money in. And the trick with contracting is to make sure you've got the right equipment. And the right equipment I've found for that, first of all, the cultivators we need, are these, the Swifter SM18 or 18 metre wide ones. They are quite nice indeed. They have a very good length, good width, but they do require a 500 horsepower tractor. So we'll require one of those. In fact, we probably will buy two. Okay, back. And then, so tractors. The tractors, we're going to need 500 horsepower tractors. And the cheapest 500 horsepower tractor is the Fendt 1000, which is that one, 1000 Vario. That will do it. Yes, I don't think the case will do it. You see, the case with the biggest engine only has 435. The Fendt Vario has it. We could go tracked into the 8RT series. The 8R series from John Deere, that engine is still 450 horsepower. It isn't enough, although it's a very pretty tractor. So yes, we could go to the 8RT, I think, or we could go into the Challenger and go tracked. And now we're getting up into the 600 horsepower tractors, but I rather like wheel tractors for their flexibility and very good turning circles anyway. So we'll buy a couple of Fendts. This is going to chew through our money. No, I want to change this because we want the bigger engine, which gives us 517 horse. The tyres are quite nice on it, but I rather like the like these fitted with wide wheel weights and wide tyres, like that. There we are. That's very nice. That was going to set us back 373 grand. So yes, I will have two of those, please. Back. Right, so now what we can do is we can pop over to the shop and bring some of this back. Oh, there's our tractor unit. We'll hop out of there, open the door, open sesame, take our tractor unit out, and off we go. Right, open the door, let's go back, close the door of course. There we go. And away we go. Oh, mind the trapping. Let's just go over to the shop. And jump. All clear to the left, all clear to the right, and round we go, because this thing's turning circle isn't the best. And off we go again. I will leave, a lot of people do go like into open HUD mode, and there are times when I will do so, especially if we're following along an item in a field. But generally for just getting around the place, people tend to play with bits and pieces up on the screen, so I'll leave that up as well for your information. It shows the speeds and so on. We don't need AutoDrive up. We will get around to setting up AutoDrive and how to use it when we need it. I mean, it's actually quite useful because you can set AutoDrive up to like from the shop to, and you set all these courses up on the roads, and then you can just tell the vehicle, go here, and it will find its way there for you. Really quite good. It's very impressive. Whee, got a slow one. Let's just pass you. And away we go. Right, so there's all various. There's one trailer, and there's the two trailers. Now, okay, am I any good at reversing on mirrors? Oops. Probably not. We shall see. We shall see. Look, we've got to get the right unit there. We're not going to do that easily enough. That's the unit we want to get on the back. Okay, third person view. Oh, look, we weren't too bad. Get this round. And we can couple up. No, we can't. Now we can. There we go. I'm not going to use the real coupling mod or anything like that. Leave the tractor trailer unit here for the minute. We don't really need it. It's just coupled up. Hop into our lovely new, very powerful fender, which I love. And we'll be going to need a yard tractor, a small yard tractor. But first of all, we want more money. So let's consider how we can do this. Another reason I quite like this cultivator, apart from it being 18.2 meters wide, is that in towing mode it is actually it trails like it's got a fifth wheel or standard dray trailer mode, which is really nice. And then when it folds out, it's just a standard trailer, so it makes it very easy to back up on field if you're doing things manually. Let's see if we can get some money. Let's have a look at what's available for us to do. Oh, look at all the cultivating jobs. And there's lots of them. And they're all going to earn reasonable money. So the nearest field we've got to us, I think, is field 24. Let's have a look. Field 25. Oh, we own field 25. Oh, even better. I tell you what, that's so remote from us at the farm, we're going to sell that. Very nice. Yep. I'll get rid of that, and then what we'll need to see is what people want to do. There'll be various jobs to do. Field 17 is a massive field. So we come back to that. Field 18 is for cultivating. That's down here. So that's there. That's a bit of a drive. Have we got anything closer? Fields 1 to 6 is favourable to start off with. Field 6, that'll be very good. And field 3, yep. So what we'll do is we'll accept contract. I've got multiple contract acceptance running because that makes life a bit easier. I'm going to put one on field 3 and one on field 6, simply because they're smaller fields and we can do them just as quickly with single tractors. Or shall we? I know you'd like to see how CoursePlay works with multiple machines. Okay, let's do this then. Let's get CoursePlay doing its thing for us. Very simple. Another mod that I'm running is the Follow Me mod. It means that I can go bonk and tell it to follow the tractor in front. Hop out and jump into the tractor in front. Now, what is it? Field 3 and field 6. We'll start off on the closest one, field 6, and then we'll move down to field 3. So they're adjacent to each other. Here we go. Right, nobody's there. We can take a nice wide swing out. So our following unit won't get interfering with traffic. And we'll trot along the side of field 5. And you can see from the mini map we've got a little blue item following us, which is lovely because that means our other tractor is behind us. And also these big Fendt Vario 1000s, they have a nice top speed, 63 clicks or about 40 kilometers an hour, which is 40 miles an hour. That's moving along very nicely. Thank you very much. I can imagine if you're in a little car like this, to see this huge tractor bearing down on you would be quite intimidating, I would think. But then if you insist on driving along at about 20, well, just over 20 miles an hour, you deserve it if the tractor bears down on the back of you, eh? Indeed. Okay, so here we are. We'll just jump into the back here. I've just been crashed into. Turn off the follow. That's right control F, by the way. Oh, you won't mind if we just tread all over their field. Look, the crop's gone. And here we are. Now, we're just cultivating. It doesn't matter whether this field needs ploughing or not. So the principle's exactly the same. We turn the tractor into field work. We go into course generation. Because we've accepted a contract, we can now select the field. We've got 18.2 meters times 2, multiple 2 is 2. So that means 36 meters. That's more than enough turning space. So we need to go around the headland once. We leave it smooth because we don't need to do absolutely every square inch of a field in contracting mode. Same principle applies. We'll do the headland second. So we will finish on the up-down rows. We want ideally to end up around about here, so that's where we're going to start, in the southeast corner. Southwest, sorry. And let's go. Let's see what sort of route. Now it now has worked out the route for us. Now, okay, so we've got a few up, downs, and round where we go, and we're going to start at the northwest corner. So we can tell these things, actually, now they're on the field, to go and drive that course themselves. Now, all we have to do now is to decide which tractor is on the left and which tractor is on the right. And this is the trick. Sometimes these distances between here should be enough, so that the distance between here should be 18 is 36, 36.4 meters between the two. But on occasions, CourseDrive will make this narrower. When we are setting tractors on the job, there is a setting called symmetric lane change, and it can be deactivated or activated. In deactivated mode, if a tractor drives on the right of the track, it will turn round and drive on the right of the track all the time. Okay, that's as simple as that. It will turn round and come past itself. If you have it in symmetric lane mode, it will stay on the same side of the line. So if it's on the right, it will go down here on the right hand side, then it will come up here on the left hand side, but on the lower side of the line. So it'll be always on the lower side of the line. So you have to look at this, and if these lines are close together, you want to make sure that that is done so that the tractor on the inside, on the outside, the left, can come back up here without hitting that one. So it's usually better to start the right hand tractor off before the left one. I prefer to use symmetric lane change. There are occasions you wouldn't, but in this case I'm using symmetric lane change. We'll come to that. The tractor's set to the right. Go to the first waypoint and drive the course. And I'm going to hop out the tractor like that, and he can go off and do that. And let's go into tractor number 2. Bring up CoursePlay. Go into fieldwork mode. We need to now have the same course, exactly the same course. So we do that by pressing this arrow, copy course, and we're going to take it from, not from the 340, that's the case, and that's working 2.2 kilometres away in the field. Yes, 2.2 kilometres, that's a long way, this map's, and that's only halfway across this map. Yeah, believe me, this map's huge. No, we want it from the other 1050, which is 240 metres and increasing away. So we'll copy that, and once we've found the right tractor, we press this little thing to copy the course. We've got the course. Everything else is, we need to set it up to be symmetric lane change. We've got to have those the same. And we need to change the lane offset to run on the left-hand side. Everything else is the same. Oh, we'll set the backing speed to 10. I didn't do that in the other tractor. We'll go and do that in a moment. Set it to start at the first waypoint, and off it goes. So let's hop back into here. I'm just going to set my reversing speed to 10. There we are. And let's just turn off these things, and we'll turn off CoursePlay, turn off AutoDrive. Now I tell you what, let's enjoy watching some of this work being done. Oh, that's one thing I didn't check. How long is this going to take? We don't know yet. So we'll wait until it starts the first row, and that will tell us just how long it will take to do field 6. If we want to know the field sizes, I'm using Global Company mod. Another great mod. Oh yes, let's watch the trailer. As you can see, it's now unfolding, and it works itself into a single point trailer as opposed to the hinged dray style trailer. And off it will go. Yes, I'm using Global Company, so that will tell me the size of each of these fields. Right, to do this one field, 47 real minutes. Back out of that, going to Global Company, field 6 is 36.14 hectares. Not a small field. As you can see, some of these fields are huge. And the one I wanted to get hold of, 36, 128 hectares. That will produce so much product or fruit. You will be so surprised. Okay, so let's take it from there, and turn off the Global Company mod. There's our other tractor just getting itself into position. And there we have it. Oh, right, yes, so let's go back to, while we're at it, let's go back to our semi. We've still got some stuff here to deal with. Like I said, I wanted a smaller yard tractor, so to speak. So, small or medium, I would think a medium tractor will be very useful. A good good all-round, especially for contracting, is the JCB Fast Track. It having four-wheel steer is fantastic. One of the tractors we will be seeing in the game is the Sintrack, because I like that as well. That's another great multi-purpose machine that we'll start off with the JCB. Very good this, because it can, depending on the game you're playing, can carry a front loader. It's very, very useful and flexible machine, especially as it has front and rear 3 points, and it has a very decent power output of 235 horsepower. So, did I just buy one of those? Did I? Yes, I did. So there we go. There it is. Let's hop out, hop in our tractor, start it all up. I'm going for some driving now, because it's a tractor. I can see what I'm doing for reversing purposes, and this makes life an awful lot easier. Let's go and pick up our dolly here. There we go. And then we'll just pull forward and bring the dolly under the trailer. Ooh, wrong way. And under we go. That should do nicely. It does. Let's take this back to the yard, shall we? This being so, when you're using the Follow Me mod, it's well worth driving the slowest of the vehicles. Principally because you don't want to leave the other one behind. Because in Follow Me, then what will happen is the following vehicle will lose its trail if it gets too far behind the other unit or the thing it's following, and it'll go, no, can't do that, and it'll stop. And that means you have to do it all then. And let's get this in running condition. Up to here, get it roughly in line, and tell it to follow. Oh yeah, hang on, follow. Yes, it probably is. It's just, yes, it is in Follow Me now. Hopping between, we'll soon see. Yes, it is. Excellent, excellent. So back to the main farm with our spoils. There will be more to acquire. That you can be sure. Right, away we go. This is why I like the dolly trailer. It allows you, especially when working with combines and so on, to wiggle up towards them if you're not using a grain cart. Oh, there we go. Let's hit in the tractor, and away we go. There we are, you can see our semi behind us. Just make sure he was following. There we have it, our field being worked very nicely by the two twin tractors. The one thing I didn't set on that, on those actually, was convoy mode on the lead tractor and the following tractor, so that they will never close to a certain distance. We need to remember. We don't need to worry about it in this time, but it will need to be done in future. Certainly when you come to multiple combines. So nice to see our vehicles working in the road. That could cause problems for our trailer unit, who's rather lagging behind there, isn't he? I wonder why he's so slow. Will he make it back to the farm? Because he's going to follow the exact course, and that car is in the way. As are these. But we're nearly back at the farm, so we'll slow down and wait. Oh, there's a bit of grassland taken out of that field. Interesting. We're nearly back at the farm. Now, where's this guy going? Who's turning left? He'll turn right. Not hopeful. I think we've lost the semi. I think it's just decided to stop on the side of the road. Lagged too far behind. Oop. Very tight turning circle on this tractor and trailer unit, which actually is really quite useful. Now the only downside with this tractor and trailer unit is backing or reversing it into that slot. It's deadly difficult. I'm not good. I can do it. Just takes a long time. So I'm just going to pop this here, and then we're going to hop off the semi and see what's happened to that. There we go. Let's drive this home. Caught up or held up behind the car and got too far behind. It's likely using new oops. Very good. Oh, these rocks. All those. More like it. Nice. I got it wrong again. Park myself underneath the green up like that. Take the cover off, and let's see if we've got anything in the silos. Have we got anything in the silo? Nope, we haven't. Right, so put the cover on and park this up neatly, because we're going to need to get at the seeds tank. There we go, we'll park that up neatly. How's that? Oh, look. How are we doing on here? Let's bring our display up. We've still got, oh, it says 3 hours and 7 minutes, but we know it's not that. It's still got a bit of a ways to go. And when it comes to buying big fields, it's going to be a long old slog ploughing, and it will be very likely that we will rent or lease a couple more ploughs to actually make the job a lot quicker. I've because we wouldn't run triple ploughs on the field. How are our fence doing? Here we go. They're doing very nicely. So I'll tell you what, let's pop the radio on, shall we, and listen to and watch what he's doing. We'll have ourselves a time lapse.
It's all fun and it's all game. Goes to hell, no one's to blame. I think I've seen this happen once before. I don't wanna see it anymore. When you think you've had enough, here comes another one. When you think you've had enough, here comes another one. Stumbling up the steps and through the door. I don't think I could take too many more. Another trying to make a dime, another sucker on the vine, another slacker trying to get off cheap. I'm just trying to get a good night's sleep. When you think you've had enough, here comes another one. When you think you've had enough, here comes another one. Here comes another one. Here comes another one. Stumbling up the steps and through the door. Don't think I could take too many more.
Well, we're coming up to towards the end of the job. We can check on our contracts page how we're doing. 97%. So we're doing pretty good. And that's going to net us 23,000. And then we'll be doing field 3 and we'll get another 24. So nice, just shy of 50k for a little bit of work. Pulling a cultivator around, easy, isn't it? You'll have noticed on a couple of the turns back there as we're doing the headlands that CoursePlay is missing this out. If you're doing your own field, of course, you would use the turn method, to make sure you don't leave little bits sticking out in the field, as these two are, but there we are. It's okay if it's singular though, but it's when you're using the multiple tools it will miss a bit in the corners. Although the route ends up in the diagonally opposite corner, they've gone round the headland and we could leave them to do the pass again, but in this case I'm not going to, as I'm going to ride along on the front tractor and stop the course when we come to it. Let's turn that off. Come to the end of this, but we can stop that and wait for the other one to join us, and then we'll stop that as well. And we just had the notification actually that the contract in the field is done. So indeed, we can stop now. I can stop the driver here. Let's hop back to the other tractor, stop him, and you can see what happens when I finish the contract or complete it. The field is completely completely done already for us, so that's it. Let's drive over to the other tractor, because now we've got field 3 to do. And we'll rinse and repeat the process. That's a slightly bigger field, I believe. But we shall see what that is. Okay, let's hop out of here into there. And we get rid of the course, and we go back into course generation. We do exactly the same thing. We want to end up there. So that's the southwest indeed, and exactly the same. You don't need the headland overlap there. Headland overlap means it makes sure that you don't miss bits, as it were. We'll generate our course and see how that works out for us. So it's going to stop there. It's going to do exactly the same thing and run over that piece again. So we might be able to start the course up here, but that's where we're going to end up. We can't tell it to start there. That might just look like it's an overlap, so we want to make sure we start the right tractor first, because that looks narrower than that is significantly narrower than that, so there's going to be some overlap. We want to run the right tractor first, so that the left tractor, when it comes back up this side, doesn't bang into the tractor. It's just all like that. Now I mentioned also the following, not there, no, I can never remember where it is. It's in here. Here, vehicle convoy, that's it. We'll activate the vehicle convoy now on these two to make sure they stay a minimum distance of 100 meters apart. This being the first one, this is going to go up on the right, as I said before. It's got the course, and go drive it. I will now hop out the way here and go into here. We do the same job again. We copy the course from the 1050. Copy the course. We're going to go into vehicle convoy and activate the convoy. We're going to drive on the left, and we say drive the course at the first waypoint. So they both run there. Now this one will follow that one across the field to the right starting point. And once it gets there, then the convoy system will activate, and because we're in the trailing tractor, what we will see down here on the bottom, we will see the temporary, we will see the distance to the forward tractor, and it will say 2 of 2 here, because it knows that there's 2 vehicles in the convoy, because we're all running the same route. The lead fend is getting into position now, and it's coming up to the start point. Picks up its position, hotly pursued by the other one, and away goes. Right, so as you can see now on the bottom of the screen, it says 1 of 2. It's now started the course. Let's hop into the other one. This one will not close more than 100 meters to the other tractor. So as soon as it starts, as long as it's within 100 meters, outside of 100 meters, let's see. Now you can see the distance is 80, 90, won't start until now. The distance is greater than 100 meters. Now we'll maintain that between them. So if one's running slightly slower than the other, and it does happen as your vehicles get older, and or the tools behind start to wear and you haven't repaired them and they're so harder to pull, one will go slower than the other, and then this vehicle convoy is essential. And away we go. Back to a time lapse. So as you see there, this particular tractor got within 100 metres of the other one while it was turning around, so it waited. And now you can see where I was saying you've got to be careful about the widths of CoursePlay sets up, because here you can see a narrow strip hasn't been done, and therefore the setting the right tractor off. You can imagine if we'd have done it the other way round and we'd have gone left leading right, we'd have had a right old crash going on, wouldn't we? Not to be. Okay, let's carry on watching the old job go, shall we? So there we go, checking on the contract status, still there, 95%, nearly done. I'm getting in a couple of hours into the day now, but we're rolling along to the end of this first episode, I think. Good place to leave it here when we complete this bit of cultivating. And we move on. Let's check in on the case while we're at it. Still got a lot to do, so that will carry on doing that whilst we get into till the next episode, and see what we go from there. Have a quick look at what other contracts are available to us. That might pay us a bit more. Field 35 is going to be nice to cultivate. Field 18 as well, they will turn up. Field 17, that's huge. But those will net us some extremely fine money, you know. Well worth taking. I know we've got £1 million in the bank at the moment. There's 1835. These two, they're equivalent to that, you see. So, but we'll do these two, and they're cultivating jobs. So these boys have got their work cut out for them. But as you can see, if you think of that's the size, these are significantly bigger. We're going to need a third tractor and a cultivator unit. And then we're going to need to sow this field, so we're going to need a planter. Now the reason I've chosen, and I like this cultivator, is principally because of planting. And the best, certainly for the American map, the best that I've come across is the Great Plains. It's exactly the same width as the cultivator that I'm using. Very useful. So you can, on the smaller fields, you can run one cultivator and have running behind it the planter, if that's what you so wish. It's a very useful size. It also means, from a CoursePlay perspective, on your own fields where you would save the course from CoursePlay. This means that the one course does a couple of actions, which is really quite handy. There we are, we're coming to the end of the contract now. Just check. Yes, the contract is now completed. So we stop the driver here, and clear the course, fold the tool up, hop over into the other fence, and repeat the process. Close the course. Along, drive up alongside the other one. And when we complete the job, then we will have this whole thing will have been magically cultivated. But we're just that tiny bit better off after it. And we complete the job. Collect very nice money. We will carry on doing some more cultivating in the next time. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me, Miss Box, here on Stone Valley, the original map. Cheerio!